Hello, ladies and gentle ladies. Welcome back to another Industria planning stream. My hair is going to be all over the place because I have my fan right next to me right now. Let me... But yes, hello everyone. Welcome. Yeah, we're going to be doing some more planning for Industria. We're kind of hopefully going to finish crude oil today. So in between streams, by the way, I've done a ton of work on crude oil, as you can see. It's getting pretty massive. So I don't actually remember exactly where we left off, but I don't think we actually even finished refinery gas. I don't really remember where we left off with crude oil, to be honest. But yeah. This is basically what we've got. So I'm not going to go through process by we're not going to go through one by one. But basically it just follows the overall processing of each of the fractions. So basically refinery gas, you have a couple like results. You have fuel gas, you have LPG, you have butane, and then you have butadiene, which I'm probably pronouncing it correctly. Now in that process there are some other products that we make which are used elsewhere. So nickel moly, don't know how to pronounce that, sulfide and cobalt moly sulfide, I'm going to call it moly, are two catalysts which are used basically everywhere. So that's why I've made those ones green. Basically greens are all the outputs here. Red is just defined as something that like you don't have to process next, but if you do process it, then you can, you're avoiding the negative downsides. In this case that's acid rain, and also it means you can kind of recycle some of it as well to get back refinery gas, which loops back around to here. Next we have the light naphtha, which I'm probably also pronouncing incorrectly. So the products of that is just isomerate, basically. There are a couple others, but they're more so just like in the process products. So chloroplatinic acid is one of the big ones, which is used in quite a few other places. And then sulfur, of course, can come out of here as well. Obviously, a lot of these are desulfuring. There might be a case also where this perrhenic acid is used elsewhere, but I haven't found a use for that yet, hence that's not green. Then we have heavy naphtha here. This is a much simpler one, but basically you end up with reformate, which is one of the chemicals that are used to make, let me not get this wrong, I think petrol. Yes, petrol. You got isomer, you got reformate, and then you got cracked naphtha, and those are basically the three things to make petrol. That is also something else that's used to make petrol, but I don't remember what that is. But it's like an optional thing. Anyways, then you have kerosene is the next one. So kerosene in of itself is a product. Like you don't have to process kerosene, and at least in the current stage of Industria, at least for the foreseeable future, I mean, kerosene won't have a use beyond kerosene. But there is going to be a processing line to get jet fuel. As I say, that won't have a use. Like jet fuel won't be useful for anything, but potentially in the future that processing line will make more sense if jet fuel becomes useful. Generally, it's just not useful outside of jets. So it's more of like, does Industria end up having jets? Probably not, but I mean, kerosene exists, so it makes sense to have the processing line there. But yeah, I couldn't find any other uses for kerosene other than jet fuel. Jet fuel is basically the only one. So I've added the processing line. Whether it gets used or not, I don't know. Let me just turn the music down a little bit. It's a tad too loud. Probably fine for you guys, but for me, it's a tad bit too loud. There we go. Yeah. Next we have gas oil. So that is to produce diesel primarily. But you also get hydrogen sulfide out, which you can then use for reprocessing and stuff to get back the sulfur. So that's for sulfur recovery. It is quite an important process. And then finally, this is the one I haven't actually finished yet, and that is the atmospheric residue. So currently there are some outputs. You got cracked naphtha, which is used to produce petrol, and then there's also diesel is potentially an output here. But you'll see, oh, and also refinery gas, but refinery gas will just get reprocessed back up here. So yeah, the one that hasn't been finished basically is slurry oil, and also vacuum residue and lubricating oil distillate, but those are a thing for another time. We'll do those later in this stream. The main one we're going to be focusing on, I think, is slurry oil, but maybe not. We'll have a look in a moment. I almost forgot. Let me do a Discord announcement. I was very close to forgetting. Lovely. Okay. That's done and dusted. So, yeah, we're going to be working on basically this processing line today, and see where we go with it. So yeah, that's fine, and we'll get that sorted out. I'm just kind of doing something in the background, by the way, guys, if you're confused. Basically, I'm trying to get the Minecraft music in the playlist I have that isn't currently in there, because we're missing quite a few. So yeah, I'm just trying to get those. I've set Codex on the task of downloading them, which it does seem to be succeeding at doing. So hopefully by the end of the stream, we're going to have more music that is not currently playable, but we'll see. Hello, Super Z. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, let's look at, I think, slurry oil. Although the more important thing here is actually the catalyst. So Hello, Domac5739. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, in FCC, this is FCC basically. FCC stands for. Actually, don't remember. FCC is like fluidization catalyst something. I've already forgotten. I did this a couple days ago. Fluid catalytic cracking. That's the one. So basically that's this process right here. So we're basically breaking down like the heavier hydrocarbons into usable things, whatnot. So the catalyst in question is the one that goes, I think, into the catalytic cracker here. So that's kind of the one we want. I could be incorrect though. I'm actually going to check. Yeah. So yeah, I was correct. Yeah. So the catalyst goes into the catalytic cracker here. So that's kind of what we're going to be working on today. Now, the process for making said catalyst is horrendously complicated. But I have tried to simplify it as much as possible, whilst keeping it somewhat realistic. Yeah, let me also, because this is very weird, we're gonna move that. Just because otherwise that's gonna be in the way. And I'd like to have this space here filled up, basically. Which should be doable, I believe. Do you use AI to plan the mod Claude Codex Anti-Gravity? I use it. I avoid using it as much as possible, though. It is primarily used for like collating research. Would be the primary use case, I would say. Because it means that I don't have to spend like hours scrolling all these like research papers and all these, scientific processes and stuff. I can just be like, hey ChatGPT, go ahead and tell me everything about this. Which is good, but it's also not always correct. So then I do have to go and validate that anyways. But I still feel like it saves me time. So I'm willing to do that. Yeah, okay. Catalytic cracker. Here we go. So the catalyst that is used here, and once again, I'm letting you guys know, if anyone here is a chemistry nerd, I'm going to warn you, not everything here is going to make perfect sense. But the general process here, and the general name for said catalyst, is an ultra stable zeolite Y, which is an insanely ridiculous name, but that's just what it's called, I guess. I don't know what to tell you here. So catalyst, there you go. Just learn it. It's not that bad. You're insane. You're actually insane. If you think I'm going to be able to learn the difference between an ultra stable zeolite Y catalyst and an ammonium zeolite Y catalyst, or a sodium zeolite Y catalyst, or a kaolin catalyst, then you're crazy. You're just insane. There's also like USY. Don't know what that is, but that's a thing. There's also a coked FCC catalyst. Like, there's you can't learn this. You know, there's degrees for this. There's entire degrees for this for a very good reason. Because it's just a lot. So yeah, that's why. So in order to make the zeolite Y catalyst, effectively, we need the ammonium zeolite Y catalyst. We could actually do this the other way round. I think that would be easier to understand the entire thing. So to kind of start in that case, we want to have sodium silicate is basically the starting point. Now, sodium silicate has other names, but more importantly is not really the first step. But like it is the first step, but like we haven't considered how to make sodium silicate. But for now, we're just gonna say it starts with sodium silicate because just a bit easier. Then we have sodium aluminate. Now, sodium aluminate we have already from the hydrogen process, so I can put this as an input. Sodium aluminate, like that. And then we also have sodium hydroxide. Once again, we can kind of take that from the aluminium process because that is used to process bauxite into something. I remember. Bauxite slurry, I think it's to make the slurry that goes into the digester, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe that's correct. And then also the hardest one to get is gonna be, if I can line it up, the big old water. So basically that's everything we need. And then we're going to put these in the agitator. Now, I am going to say the agitator is going to get scrapped as a thing. Or at least it's, well, actually kind of the other way around. So currently I'm interchanging multiple things. So I have agitator, I have mixer, I have chemical reactor. Technically, they are all different things, but they serve exactly the same purpose. So I'm actually going to nuke all of them except the agitator. I haven't got around to that yet, but that is going to happen. Just to let you guys know. So like here where we've got agitator, that's fine. But anywhere where I might have like chemical reactor or mixer, you can say bye-bye to that, basically. What I'm saying. These all go down one? Yes, they can. Lovely jubblies. There you go. That's all in line. Lovely. So yeah, all those in the agitator. That gets us... Let me just... That gets us sodium zeolite Y. And then that also gets us a byproduct as well. You can put like here somewhere. Let me just grab the arrow as well. Oh, let's not do that. So the byproduct here. Okay, thank you. Very unhelpful. Is gonna be ammonium nitrate, which isn't useful for this. Wait, no. 1 second. I'm getting confused. This is in the wrong one. So that gives us the sodium zeolite Y. That's correct. But then that needs to go back in the agitator. That's why I'm getting confused. It just needs to go back in the agitator. I don't know why that's not working. But that needs to go back in the agitator with ammonium nitrate. Ammonium nitrate. I've currently got this as blue because I don't know if we have that anywhere else in here. Ideally we do, and I feel like I have mentioned ammonium nitrate at some point. Maybe not. I don't see it. Oh, Alex, welcome to the stream. I don't see ammonium nitrate here. I think what we should do... Got any more stream plans for next week? No. Next week, I'm almost probably certainly not going to be streaming. Because I won't have my computer next week. I mean, maybe on Saturday or Sunday or Friday, you might get a stream. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you will not get a stream. Because, yeah, I won't have my computer, basically. I mean, I will, but not... Yeah, not really. I'll be parsecing into it, so I won't really have it. What am I looking for? Ammonium nitrate. Yes. So I need to look in programming, Java, Minecraft, Industria. What am I looking for? I'm looking for, I think, is it in nitric acid by any chance? Industrial streams were more popular. Of course, industrial popular. Nitric acid, that gives us nitric oxide. But we don't have ammonium nitrate? What about... No, it's not in aluminium. I don't know why I'm looking in aluminium. Is it in rubber? I'm sure I wrote down ammonium nitrate somewhere. But ammonium chloride? Ammonium vanadate? Vanadate? Whatever. No ammonium nitrate though? So why does this not go anywhere? Oh, I think it does. I think it goes in here. That's very confusing. Yeah, I think that goes in here. I think that goes from there to there. That's very weird because that's confusing. But yeah. Hello, Sheep CPVP. Welcome to the stream. Ammonia. No, I don't think there is ammonium nitrate anywhere. Not going to be in tin, I don't think, but we'll have a quick look in here. Nope. The only other one then is aluminium, but I know it's not in... Well, we can check, but I'm pretty sure it's not in aluminium. Oh, I mean, it could be in here somewhere. Wait, didn't we already look at this? Or am I crazy? No, we didn't look at this. It's just because sulfur trioxide's in here. I thought like we did. But yeah, that's basically the same process, so no. Okay. In that case, we need to figure out how you get ammonium nitrate. I don't think it's hard to get ammonium nitrate, though. Okay. Fine. We'll just leave that as blue for now, but we'll come back to that. Oh, did the music stop, or is that? Oh, it's because we're in the end. I should probably remove that one from the playlist. Okay. Where are we at now? So after the agitator, we get, I think. Well, actually, let me check because I'm not sure. Then we get the ammonium zeolite Y. So this out to here gives ammonium zeolite. That. Okay. I wanna kind of make use of this space more. So I'm gonna very much do that by just moving all of these across. And the agitator will go there. The agitator will then get us the... So it'll go like there. There we go, like that. And this agitator will go here. There. And this will come out like here. So I'm just trying to get the space well utilized, and then we'll kind of like zigzag it down. Right. Although we are almost there, so maybe this won't be necessary. We'll figure that out in a second. Because we still need to do the ammonium nitrate. So okay. Then we need to basically go into the ultra stable step, since we're gonna skip hydrogen zeolite. Just because it's not needed. It's a processing step that we just don't need, so we're not gonna have that. But so yeah, after that we need to get the ultra stable. Do Minecraft mods actually make enough money to be worth the time and effort? No. No, they do not. There's no like catch. There isn't a catch. If you're doing it for the money, don't. If you're doing it for the money, quit. Because it won't happen. You won't get anything, pretty much. I mean, if you... Okay. There is a catch, but it's like... Okay, if you manage to get one of the most used mods, we're talking JEI, we're talking Create, we're talking Sodium, right? If you manage to get one of those, sure, you will make... the thing is, I don't even know you make a living wage on those. I don't think you can make a living wage on those. Because I don't think they earn you that much either. But you're maybe making like... Okay, if I had to guess, I don't know how much you make. But like, if I had to guess, you maybe make... I don't know. I actually don't know. I would guess $500 a month. Maybe. Like, maybe. And that's a very big maybe. I don't know. But you're not making anything even close to a living wage. And that is one of the biggest mods. If you include Patreon, then obviously, yes, you can start making more money, right? But you have to then get people to actually join your Patreon, which is easier said than done. Trust me, I've tried. Doable, but easier said than done. So yeah, just don't do it for the money, basically. Don't even try. You're wasting your time. You need to do it for the love of the game. If you don't do it for the love of the game, then it's not happening. So yeah. Trying to figure out how we can do this. Probably just another agitator is what I'm saying. Another agitator here. Unless you make Minecraft mods for Sunday or Mystery. That is the other option. Yes, I will say, if you're making mods for a content creator, you can earn a good wage. You can earn a very good wage. But it's not easy to get into that. Or if you are the content creator. Sure. But that, you know, you can't just like be the content creator. You really have to have a very good personality for that, because people are very much watching you for your personality. Unless you can come up with some really good ideas that like 9-year-old kids are actually interested in, which very weird, by the way, if you can do that. For a different reason, but still. Okay, apparently you do... Oh, this isn't water, by the way. This is steam. That didn't make... Okay. Yeah, there's byproducts here, which I... So, the byproducts here are water and... ammonia. There we go, like that. I'll do this. Boom. Oh, that needs to come out of... Yeah, but that's okay. I think that works. Actually, that... Well, kind of works. Oh? Do that. Completely. Kill. Okay, lovely. So those are the byproducts. I don't know. And then, yeah, this just needs to go all the way over. Can I delete the original little guy that was over here? You? Oh, that's text. Ah, well, it's fine. It works. Good enough. Catalyst. But yeah, like I'm doing Industria just for the love of the game. I'm not doing this to try and get paid or I don't know, get popular. That's just not a goal, and I don't think that should be a goal of anyone doing Minecraft modding. There are obviously people that do that. That is their goal, but I don't think it works out, to be honest. I don't think it works out very often. Because you really, you have to be very lucky. It's not even just about having a good mod. A good mod is great, but you have to get lucky. And you have to have, basically a mod pack maker has to find it, right? And it has to be a big mod pack maker. Ideally, you get it in like ATM. You know, I mean, Industria is going to have a big problem there because Industria is only on Fabric, right? And Fabric doesn't really have an ATM. There is an all of Fabric, but I don't know that anyone actually plays all of Fabric. So Industria will have a problem, which is why I do want to make it multi-loader at some point. But too scary, not doing it yet. But yeah. Okay. Does this all make sense? This all makes sense. The only thing then is ammonium nitrate and sodium silicate. And yeah, I mean, so I think we start with sodium silicate because I think it's not hard. So first of all, we have to kind of decide silica. Is silica just quartz? Is basically the decision we decide. I would say mm, I would say we use crushed quartz would be the easiest way. Otherwise, it just gets a bit weird. Let's not kind of overcomplicate things, right? So if we just take, I mean, how are we even going to fit this in here? Okay, we'll just have to put it somewhere else and then just have it be like a separate thing. Or we just have it come from a different thing. Or actually, there's enough space here. I don't want to use this necessarily because of the reformate. Actually, I'll probably put petrol processing in its own thing because it does kind of need its own thing. So yeah, okay. What we'll do then is we will have it here and then it can just jump over this, right? This, by the way, let's make that do a line jump. Oh, didn't. Oh, probably because of the gaps. Might need to be this one. I don't think that's the right one though. It is. And I think it is, but it's just weird because of whatever. That's good enough for me. So that goes into there. Okay, so sodium silicate. We're gonna have crushed quartz. Let's do. I'm just thinking, do we have the quartz part or not? I say we do. I say we have quartz. We then do. Just think, do I want to lay this out? Let's just do quartz crusher, or yeah, quartz crusher. Right, how do I get? Oh, hello, line up, please. Crush quartz. I don't know how to get the right gap on that. Probably. And then from crushed quartz, we need to do that plus sodium hydroxide plus water. So sodium hydroxide, we agreed, is an input. So sodium hydroxide plus water. That doesn't fit. That's annoying. Oh? That not... I don't know. Whatever. No, I think it has to be like that. Right, there you go. There we go. Right. Absolute silly business. So yeah, that's in the agitator. So barely fits. This really doesn't fit, to be honest, does it? Okay, there you go. Now those in the agitator. That really needs to come out like there. Can I do that and then just bring that along? Yes, kind of. That's gonna have to work because like I don't have space here. And that gets us the sodium silicate. Okay, ideally that's in line with that though. There you go. Got it. Got it, guys. Okay. I think I'm gonna move this forward a bit. Move it like that. There you go. That's not so bad. Doesn't look so cramped now. And if we just make this do a line jump as well. Good, that now jumps over that line. So that's much cleaner to see. It's a bit weird because it's kind of in line with the heavy naphtha, but like, you know, all of this is in line with kerosene and gas oil, so it is what it is. Okay, so that gets us the FCC catalyst. Oh no, we need ammonium nitrate. So ammonium nitrate. Just ammonia and nitric acid, apparently. Yeah. Okay. So ammonia is fine. Do we have nitric acid in here? I need to be able to like search. Is that a thing? View? Is there like a find? Arrange? Help? Search? I don't think that's gonna do what I wanted. I want to like search in here. Can I? Aha. Nitrate. Aha. Nitric acid. Lovely. That's what I wanted. So we have nitric acid and ammonia. We'll come down here. Boom, bada bing. So these go in. Well, let's just move down. Go. So those go in the agitator, and that gets us ammonium nitrate. Et voila. We could probably flip this, and then actually that would fit much nicer. I'm thinking something like this. So like if we did that. Boom, boom. Actually, I don't know we can do that. I don't think there's space to have that. Where is that? That needs to be that way. Unless we just bring this in. There you go. That's even. But that in the agitator then gets us the ammonium nitrate, blah, 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 blah. That's all good. Okay, lovely. So that's cyanuric gas, cracked naphtha, and the light cycle oil. Next is just slurry oil then. See if I can find anything about that. I can't actually. Which is weird. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Okay. Trying to find, because I think slurry oil is how you get bitumen. Hello, Aleatoria, welcome to the stream. But I can't find, like, specifics. Which isn't helpful. Okay. I think I see. Okay, so it basically has 3 options. So it can go through thermal cracking, which gives us like refinery gas, coca naphtha, coca gas oil, and then petroleum coke. Or it can produce carbon black, which is apparently something for synthetic rubber. I have heard of carbon black before. Oh yeah, I see. It's used to make rubber tires strong. Interesting. I don't necessarily know that will be useful, but okay. And then there's heavy fuel oil is another one. So I'm just trying to understand how everything works here, but basically, we need a separator, so we'll probably just go with. Do we have like we just do distillation? It's not really distillation though. Do we have set? Let me open the other ones real quick. See if I can find that cryogenic gas separation unit. That's not helpful. What about the other ones? Do nitric acid is pretty simple. Have any kind of separation, and we know that aluminium have any separation. Do we know that? Is that? That's true. Okay. Oh. Hello, White. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so in that case, do we just use the distillation tower? I think we do. Because I don't want to have another... Yeah, I'm going to do that. I don't want to have another machine just for this. Silly. That's what we're... Distillation tower. Like that. That then gets us... That gets us clarified slurry oil, apparently. I don't really know. Apparently, okay, wait. There might be a way here. So the reason is because I'm getting confused because there's two outputs that come from this. So we get the like. Why can I not lie? Hello? Oh my god, I'm gonna bubbles. But why is it not? Center aligning. Oh my god, it's like 1 pixel. I can't move my mouse to such precision. This is gonna drive me crazy. Okay, there we go. Got it. Okay. So this is clarified slurry oil. And it also produces, apparently, something called FCC catalyst fines, which basically aren't useful, but they can be used to make cement/concrete. Therefore, if we add cement, which I don't know that we will, because why would you add cement when vanilla already has concrete? And concrete in Minecraft is much simpler than the real process for concrete and cement. But maybe we make it so it's a way to get more concrete, or just an alternative way to get concrete, I suppose. But basically, this plus like cement stuff gets you cement. I think that probably makes sense to do it like that. So yeah, okay. So that basically then goes agitator. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put cement ingredient. That's going to be a purple. And yeah, these in the agitator gets us cement. Which obviously can then be used to make concrete. That's a thing. And basically the idea here is that it just allows you, it's just another way to get concrete. You wouldn't purposely choose this process for making concrete. It's just will be a different way to get concrete, an additional source of concrete, right? I think that's perfectly reasonable to have. Okay. So next then is the clarified slurry oil, which needs to go. Apparently it goes with the vacuum residue. In something called a thermal cracker. Probably be a specialized. Basically, it's saying that that goes with. Hello, how can I? There you go. And then if I just line jumps sharp, line jumps sharp, then that goes into the thermal cracker there. Okay. And that gets us a couple things. It gets us binary gas. I mean, I just need to find what the other ones are actually used for before we go ahead and add them in here. So refinery gas, let's just pump this round. That needs up. This thing runs up. Put it all the way. They're basically exactly in line. That actually. Nice and shrimple. So okay. So for one of the other ones is called Coca Nat. And we're kind of going to simplify this one for what makes the most sense, which is to take this into a catalytic chamber here. With our existing nickel molysulfide. Just bring this up. Base. That's the catalyst. Catalyst. So that goes in there. And that gets us cracked naphtha, basically. It is the easiest way to do this one. So if we can find cracked naphtha, I don't know where that is. Isn't it here somewhere? Am I crazy or have I... Because cracked naphtha is what you get from... Yeah, here you go. Cracked naphtha is basically one... This is used for petrol, right? So, boom, that gives us cracked naphtha. So that's kind of an end of the line thing. And apparently it also gets us... what's that? Hydrogen sulfide? Yeah. This is annoying. Hydrogen sulfide is one of those things that is kind of just an annoyance, but hey, it is what it is. I guess it's good for sulfur recovery. Yeah, hydrogen sulfide goes all the way to there. We just need to find a way to... line jumps. And that just jumps over. Lovely. So that's the hydrogen sulfide, and that just goes into our existing line. So that's fine. Okay. Then one of the other ones that we get from thermal cracker is coca gas oil. So first of all, actually, let's move these up. Let's just plonk them like up here. Oof, that's really against the attack. Where are you? Or there. Where are you meant to be? Where are you going? Sugar naphtha. Oh, this is the refinery gas. I was like, what the hell is this? I was a bit confused because it was all the way down there. Yeah, okay, there you go. So that just joins that. We can just do... Okay, lovely. So that now that's part of that existing line. It's actually off. Whatever. I actually don't care. I'm not gonna try and fix that. Okay. So yeah, one of the other ones is coca gas oil. I think the concept here is basically the same. So you got coca gas oil, and basically that goes through similar processes. But this one looks kind of complicated because it produces a lot of things. Let's... So the other one is petroleum coke, and it's kind of not really useful, to be honest. It can be used in the Hole's Heroic process for aluminium, but we already have something for that, right? Which is the carbon thing. I kind of want to just not add those ones because they're not particularly useful. Or maybe should we just make them red and then just like, okay, that's it. Like petroleum coke. And then we just make it so they don't go anywhere. Right? So they're basically exclusively for this process. And then they just, after that, they just don't go anywhere. Kind of like line this up with something like that. I can't. That's get that. Whatever. I don't care. That's close enough for me. So yeah, these don't have any outputs. These are basically just byproducts. Maybe later down the line we can add further stuff, but I think those are fine for now. Okay, so where we got to then? So that's basically all of slurry oil, I think. Let me check though. So slurry oil. Oh, I see. So it can also be used, right, because it can also be used for carbon black. Which is a whole other thing. And then it can be used for the heavy fuel oil as well. Okay. That complicates things. Let's do red again. Put in 2 red ones. Can I put you in between? Oh, please? In between? Get it in. Guess it's not in between. Sure. Oh, there you go. That's good enough. So these, we'll just put them in. Like that. So this can basically be used for carbon black production. And we're going to put in heavy fuel oil. But like, not important at the moment, so we'll just leave them out. As far as we're concerned right now, they don't exist. So that's fine. Okay, so now that's all of the slurry oil. So the next one then is lubricating oil distillate. Let's find what that was for. Oh, my entire PC is lagging, by the way, guys. You may have to give me a second. Oh my god, I have so many things open right now. Okay, so I know vacuum residue is basically what's used for the bitumen. Fine. Sort that out. But I want to kind of do these in order a little bit. We can't do that without doing this one first. We're also massively running out of space here. Let's just pull this all the way down. I has a feeling we're gonna need quite a bit of space. I don't like. Do it like there. I'm just gonna try and route it up that. Back in. It's kind of jarring, but well, actually, I guess we can do it the other. We can do it which I think is actually where it was. Okay, that goes in there. Fine. Good enough for me. Wait, but that doesn't solve the issue. Because I need this down here. Okay, let's just do, in that case, this. And just hope this is enough space for lubricating oil distillate. I think it should be. I think it should be. Okay. What is... I want to see what it's actually used for here. Oh, basically lubricating oil. Oh, and grease, I see. And also, apparently, slack wax. But which can then be used to make, like, paraffin wax. And, oh my god. Okay. This actually might be, one of the longest. Is this mod more fantasy or realistic? Definitely more realistic than fantasy, I would say. But there is an exception. I just haven't really talked about the exception yet. That's kind of yeah. The exception will wait to be told. But there is a big exception. But generally, it's more realistic than not. But yeah. God, I've got itchy nose today. Okay. Also, whoever told me, by the way, that Torio gets a bit laggy when you have bigger diagrams, I agree. I'm starting to experience that little bit of friction on everything. You know, things are just taking a hot minute when they didn't before. But yeah, I mean, as I say, I don't know what another solution is. I don't know what's used other than Rayo. So we're also a bit deep into it now. So whatever else it would need to be like programmatically convertible or something. But okay, it's fine for now. So yeah, this looks... So what is... Okay, so apparently it needs to be combined with something called furfural, which I've never heard of before. But basically, it's very important. What I'm understanding. So it's an organic liquid made from corn cobs, oat hulls, and sugarcane bagasse. Bagasse. I don't know. Something like that. It's used as a chemical solvent, building blocks to make plastics and nylon, and a refining agent to clear impurities from petroleum and diesel fuel, which is what we're using it for. So, as for how we actually are going to make this thing that we need, I don't know. That's how it's spelt, by the way. Yeah, that in the agitator. We have an agitator too. That gets us... that's off. I think that's... yeah, lovely. Okay. So what that gets us is... and you guys are going to have to be grown-ups for a minute. But that gets us lube extraction mixture. Okay. We can all be grown-ups. So we can put that in a... hello, Wide. Welcome back. We're working on the lubricating oil distillate to turn that into, well, everything. Basically into mech, into the other stuff that I listed that I've already forgotten. Paraffin, wax. That's right. Okay. So that in there gets us things that I've never heard of before. What is this? So, oh. So apparently it gets us something called raffinate, which I've also never heard of. I'm just trying to figure out, can we get rid of some intermediaries here? I would say no. Honestly, even like a lube extraction mixture, we don't really need that. I think we can skip that step entirely and just... See, we can't... The problem is we can't put both of these in here. I think... Okay, I think we need this. We need this because we need the furfural. But then I think we can go from there straight into a couple things. So solvent, refined lube oil. We also get aromatic extract. Well, you know, let's just do the kind of realistic one first, and then we'll figure out afterwards what actually just needs to go here. That's going to be the easiest way, because otherwise we're trying to figure things out as we go along, which is just way too hard to do. Why have you done that? I did not ask you to do that. There you go. So those two, and then it gets us back the furfural, apparent. That gets us back that, which then can go back into there. That. Lovely. Now I'm gonna swap these around because otherwise we're gonna have bigger problems. And said problems are that the solvent refined lube oil is a bit more complicated. So apparently solvent refined lube oil plus something called mech, which is methyl ethyl keto. What is that? Methyl ethyl ketone. Okay, I Google it and it instantly comes up with a UK Gov site. Methyl ethyl ketone is produced industrially in large quantities and is mainly used as a solvent, often found in mixtures with acetone, ethyl acetate, N-hexane, or alcohols. Alright, Ilya, have fun with friends. I will figure things out on my own, don't worry. It also needs to be combined with toluene, which is an aromatic hydrocarbon. Well, no, it's a substituted aromatic hydrocarbon, whatever the hell that means. But I'm more interested in what is this and what is it used for, and do we need it? Toluene is one of the most abundantly produced chemicals. Interesting. Its main uses are as a precursor to benzene. Okay, we need it then. As a solvent for thinners, paints, adhesives, whatever, and as an additive for gasoline. In 2013, worldwide sales of toluene amounted to about 24.5 billion US dollars. Who knew? Yeah, so basically it's like we need it. It's not a matter of like, oh, can we get rid of this step? No, we just need that one. So that's okay. We can make that work then. As for how it's actually produced, though, good question. Apparently, it's a byproduct of production from coke from coal, which is interesting. Where's that step in here, by the way? Coke. Find. That's it. We don't have coal coke in here anywhere. Maybe not actually. That was, what was that, rubber? I guess that's not in here. Okay. Well, what else? Occurs naturally at low levels in crude oil and is a byproduct of the production of gasoline by a catalytic reformer or ethylene cracker. Toluene can be prepared by a variety of methods. Benzene reacts with methanol in presence of a solid acid to give toluene and water. Okay, so there's multiple ways to get it then. We shouldn't have a problem with that. Okay, we're just gonna run out of space here. That's the only problem. So we're just gonna have to go this way. Right, that's the only option. I'm just thinking, do we try and figure out aromatic extract? He reckons a better name for this is just refined lube oil. Oh no, no it doesn't. No, it reckons. Wait, I don't really understand. Oh, I see. Oh, it's just saying get rid of the solvent. Because that's just not needed. That's fine, that makes sense. Okay. What is this music? Is this also Minecraft music? I've never heard of this either. So interesting. Okay. Running. Okay. So the problem is this needs to be combined with mech and tooline, and then it just gets separated. So the problem with that is that, like, we need an intermediary. It's annoying because the intermediary is just to then get separated, but isn't really another option. So that's what that's going to be there, and that's going to be combined with the that's going to be combined with whatever mech is, and this Halloween stuff. I don't know why that's being weird. Yeah, so these in the agitator plus that as well then gets us some kind of solution there. Which it would recommend just calling I don't know, man. This is very confusing. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna screenshot. Yeah. Alright. That's crazy. We're now getting lava chicken. Okay, it says the waxing mix. I can't believe this is an actual song in Minecraft, by the way. This is diabolical. The fact that this is a song in Minecraft it's so insane. Every time I hear it, I'm like, oh my god, this is actually a thing. I honestly, guys, I still haven't watched the Minecraft movie. I probably never will. Because I don't care enough to watch it. Let's just put that there. Oh, it says we need a cooler. I didn't want to add a cooler, but we can have a cryogenic. Maybe. This is very far into the future anyways, by the way, guys. Like, everything we're planning right now, I hope you realize this is months into the future. We're not going to be doing any of this for a very, very, very long time. Because there is so much here. This is going to take months. If not, I mean, it shouldn't take years, but it will take a really long time. Bearing in mind, literally... Wait, let me have a quick look. Okay. Literally, 2 machines that are here already exist. The Crusher, the Agitator. That's it. All of the other ones here... Oh, and the Furnace, of course. But, like, all of the other ones here are... They don't exist, right? So, it, at the very least, requires creating all of these machines. Then it requires adding all of these blue ones. So all of these blue ones are like separate items. All of the green ones are separate items, right? So all of those will have to be, or not necessarily items, but they could be fluids, they could be slurries or gases, or items. So this is months of work. I will probably, I don't know whether I will code it top down or not. Or not code it, but like implement it top down. Like, will I do refinery gas first, then light naphtha, then heavy naphtha? I don't think so. I think that's weird. But maybe. Maybe. The problem with that is that there's so many precursors, things like refinery gas, is that, like, you have to come all the way up to here to get, like, ammonia and nitric acid, so you have to have a whole production line for ammonia and nitric acid. So probably I won't even start with crude oil. We'll start with the processing lines for nitric acid and ammonia. Then we'll move on to the processing line for crude oil. Or possibly even processing lines for other things. Something like getting the chloroplatinic acid would be its own processing. Impregnated H mordanite. That would be a pretty big line in of itself. Because that needs hydrochloric acid, right? So we would need a whole line for hydrochloric acid. We would need a whole line for chlorine, right? Because chlorine, yes, it's an element, but like you can't just get chlorine. So that in of itself is a whole thing. Even, actually, hydrogen. Hydrogen would be an entire line just to get a hydrogen. Yes, you could get it from like an electrolytic separator, but obviously the point would be that uses so much energy that you'd want to get it from something else. Oxygen, same thing. Moly concentrate as well. I mean, like even for the alumina here, you're talking about having an entire whole heroic process just for the alumina. Sodium hydroxide, kind of same thing, but sodium hydroxide is trivial to get. So that's not really it. Yeah, honestly, guys, I think I'm actually gonna end the stream here. I am all chemistry'd out for today. There's a lot. There's a lot here. what I will say. And there's a lot to go through. Like this alone, right? We're talking about adding an entire processing line to get mech, an entire processing line to get Tuluene. Those are going to be big processing lines as well. We're not just talking like, you know, we're not talking something like this. We're talking something like this, at least. Probably more. Probably more something like, I don't even know. I don't think we have anything of that scale in. Probably something like, actually. Okay, no, that's much simpler than I remember. What about rubber? Okay, probably like in here for rubber, how we have sodium bisulfite, bisulfate. We're talking basically something like that, just for mech, and something like that just for toluene, or however you pronounce it. I don't know. Toluene. So these are going to be massive. Furfural as well. I don't know how the hell we're going to get that. Something with sugarcane, corn stuff. Don't have corn, so maybe I have to add. Maybe we have to add corn just to get this. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot, guys. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm pretty much all chemistry'd out for today. But yeah, once we finish this whole crude oil process, by the way, once we've planned out this entire crude oil process, we will start implementing things. So we'll start getting back to actual development. We're not too far away from that in reality, right? We're down to the bottom one. Once we've done the lubricating oil, we have to do vacuum residue. But vacuum residue isn't as bad. Let's see if I can find vacuum residue. I kind of already have it because it is much shorter. Here you go. Vacuum residue. Basically, you just put that in the mixer. Oh wait, no. 1 second. Vacuum residue plus air in the chemical reactor gets you bitumen. I mean, that's not going to be a complicated one. I think it does have other uses, but that's neither here nor there. So you do planning first? Yes. We are planning everything first. Or at least that's the idea. Because it makes it so much easier. We don't have to try and figure things along the way. But yeah, guys, I know it's early, but I think I'm going to end the stream here because, as I say, I'm all chemistry'd out for today. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. We may do a railroad stream tomorrow. I actually don't know though. Maybe. We'll see. There may be a railroad stream tomorrow. There may not be. Yeah, I'm going to end it here. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next stream. Goodbye.